What's up, ladies and gents?
Welcome to Besties, where the tea is hot and the laughs are even hotter.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Sean. We're your favorite duo, ready to spill, dish, and serve all the laughs.
Let's get into it.
All right, so as a reminder, we're going to kick off the episode with a few choice complaints from the complaint department. Remember, y'all, our inbox is your therapy session. After that, we're getting into the main course, which is 90's kids. Where are they now? And boy, do we got some peeps for you this week, y'all, where we share all the nostalgic childhood favorites and TV shows, toys, snacks, all those types of fun things from that decade.
So for those of you who can't see us and are just listening, Sean and I are wearing our 90's attire. He has his shell necklace on, his Pizza Planet shirt from Toy Story. I'm sporting a neon pink choker, butterfly clips, a scrunchie, and my all that 90's shirt.
She's killing it. She's got the whole ensemble today. I love this getup, Britt.
I really went all out for this because I am a 90's girly through and through. So, without further ado, welcome to the complaint department. This is the safe space where we let it all out. No gripe is too small or big here. So grab your megaphone because it's time to vent. Hit it, Sean.
Oh, I love it. All right, so I have one complaint this week for me personally, and I swear I do not just spend all my time on the bathroom or whatever, on the toilet, but it has to do with the freaking toilet paper yet again. But no, it's not the 1-ply bullshit. It's not the fucking 9-ply bullshit. It's the fact that when your spouse leaves no toilet paper for you at the end of the roll. Let me tell you, folks, there is nothing worse than dropping a fucking bomb, okay?
Okay.
And you go to wipe your ass and there is no fucking toilet paper. I cannot even tell you how many times this has happened to me, or I've had to, like, whatever, like, pull my little skinny ass up off the fucking toilet, put my underwear back on, and like scoot as quick as I can over to the freaking spare cabinet where we have the spare toilet paper and put it back on the ring so I can, wipe my ass. When you see it is getting low, folks, just replenish it for your person, your partner, your spouse, whatever it is. Just replace it. It fucking drives me absolutely nuts that I can't even tell you how many times that has happened to me. Love him, but God, change out the freaking toilet paper. I can't.
I know, that's tough. I know Jeffrey sometimes does the same stuff, and I'm like, but might I interest you in getting a bidet? It's a heated seat. It sprays you. It dries you.
And I know we have had this conversation before. Maybe we should. I mean, I tried one when I was in Europe, and it was surprisingly pretty good. So maybe it's time to just get the bidet and be done with it and not even have to waste toilet paper or worry about wiping my ass because I'll just spray my ass.
I'll just blast it.
Personal enema.
Dude, a name on.
A name on. Any man can do it, okay? Any man can do it.
Yes, only our bathroom has the bidet, but the guest bedroom that I use, or the guest bath rather, that I use when I'm in my office doesn't have one, and I'm usually the one that's only in there, so the TP is always full flow. But the downstairs bathroom, I just had to change it today, and then I almost walked out, and I was like, oh no, I can't be that a-hole, so.
Well, I wish everyone thought like you, Britt.
And you too. You're sensible. I mean, Kevin?
Why? Because I don't want someone being in that situation. It has happened to me. I have had such bad luck with toilets, hey. Like, any sort of, I can't even, okay, so quick story time, all right? There was one time where I took a road trip to Pennsylvania to see some of my college friends. We stop at a rest stop. We haven't gone to the bathroom in a while. I never, ever, go number 2 at rest stops, okay? I just don't. But this particular time, it was not good for me. I had the grumblings down there. It was not working out. It was not good. I go into this rest stop bathroom, and the restroom, the door, like none of the doors have locks on them. Okay.
Perfect.
Go into the biggest stall, which has like half of a latch. I somehow get the latch to latch and whatever, close. I'm literally mid poop, and this man just opens the door wide open and just stares at me. I'm like, "Hi, I'm in here." Like,
Come on in.
and he literally just goes, "Oh, sorry," closes the door, and then it opens again because he's like closing it too fast. And he like literally peeks in again. And he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Like literally me, I'm like mid shit on the fucking toilet, being like, I don't care if you like, just go away. So I finally said, "I'm like, I got the door. Like, stop worrying about it. Go away, please go away." Oh my god, it was horrible. I remember coming out of that rest stop bathroom, and I just looked at my two friends and Kevin and was just like, I cannot even tell you what I just witnessed and what I just experienced. Like, literally just sitting there staring at me taking a dump. Like, that is the most vulnerable spot anyone has ever been in. And you're just sitting there trying to, like, close the door, and then he's panicking. I'm like, no, sir. No, sir.
Dead. Plot twist. He's the one that broke all the latches, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." Every half hour.
For real. Oh my
Dude,
god.
off on another tangent. I see your rest stop bathroom, and I raise you airport. One time, I went to the airport. We were in Florida. We had just landed, and I don't like using the bathroom on the plane because it's like so awkward. When do you get up? And like, are they going to yell at me to like sit back down? And then I'm already in my brain ready to go, and now I can't.
Yeah.
So I got off, and I had gone into the bathroom, and of course, you know, everyone just got off their flight. There's a bunch of people in there, and a bathroom stall opened up, and the toilet paper didn't go down for the person in front of me. So I'm like, it's fine, whatever. Like, I have to go. I'll just pee on top. And then I'm like, the toilet must just like, you must have to hold it. So I pee. All I do is pee. Like I'm not like shameful of pooping anywhere. I will blow it up. If I have to go, I'm going, and we all do it. So judge me. But this time, thankfully, I only had to pee. So I flush it, and it half goes. And I'm like, listen, I know a woman's coming in here after me, and like, I don't want her to think I clogged this toilet. Like, so
Right.
I flush it again, and it just starts rising up, and I'm like, okay, it'll go down. So then all of a sudden it sucked down, but like the toilet paper didn't go, it was just the water. So I do it again, comes all the way up, and then it starts pouring over, and I'm like, oh my god, and I'm like, what do I do? I'm like, abort. I fucking don't wash my hands. I fucking go right out. I'm like, Jeff, we have to go. Everyone's screaming. They're like, oh my god, like, because you know, people are sitting on the toilets, and the water's just creeping in on them, and I'm like, I just fucked this place up. And then I didn't know where Jeffrey went because the men's bathrooms were like to the left, so I went to the left, but he was to the right. So then I'm walking back to the right to go see him, and they're like pulling the tape thing across, and they're like, everybody out. And I'm like, oh my god, I hope no one thinks that was me. Oh my god, I just flooded the bathroom.
Oh my, see, if that was me, I would have literally flushed the second time, and when I didn't see it come back up, I would have said, fine, I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna make it this next bitch's problem. Like, I'm not gonna worry about it. Oh my god, Britt, that's crazy.
It's disgusting and embarrassing, and I'm like, oh my god, I just ruined so many people's day. If their purse was on the ground, like, sorry about your bags.
For real. Sorry about the fucking shit stains. My bad.
It was only pee, thankfully.
Yeah, but who knows what else came up if that toilet was clogged.
True, but
anyway, talking about bathrooms and poops, what is your complaint this week, Brittany?
So my complaint is when you text someone and it's like kind of urgent, but you know, if you call, they're just going to be like, I'm busy, blah, blah, blah. So like you just send a text and you're like, they'll read it when they read it and they'll just respond. Well, I'll literally text someone, and then like a day and a half later, they'll be like, sorry, just seeing your text now. And then they never answer the fucking question I originally asked. And I'm like, okay, that's great, but like, where's the follow-up? Like,
did you answer my question?
Right, like, that's great. You were busy, but what's the answer? So what now? Do I have to wait 3 to 4 business days again? Like, okay, forget it. I'm actually busy as well. Goodbye.
Gosh.
I hate that.
I hate that too. And it's also frustrating when, especially with, I mean, every situation is different, but I know for a fact everybody has that friend who like won't answer you for 2 days, and then when you hang out in person, they'll be like, "Well, you never answer me," and I'm always like, I never answer you. I'm like, it takes 2 days for you to even respond. And then at that point, I'm like, I have to read our text messages because I don't even remember what the hell we were talking about in the first place. It's
Exactly.
just like I get a couple hours or a few hours, like me me and one of my best friends, Katie, are it's the same thing. Like we sometimes it takes us a couple hours to answer each other because she has 2 kids. Like she has a lot of things going on, as do I, and like we don't care. Like we're just like, okay, yep, we'll answer when we can, and
Right.
we can keep up that way. But if I text you and you answer me like 2 or 3 days after I texted you, it's like, come on, what? You're that busy that you either can't remember or you're not, remembering what the hell I texted you. I don't know. That blows my mind. And even bigger of a complaint, I hate when those people don't text you for a couple days, but then you hang out with them and they're constantly on their phone.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
like, okay, you're sitting here texting everybody else, but then when I text you, it takes you 2 days. I'm so confused.
Right.
It's
Well,
so frustrating.
yeah, it's like, well, fuck me then, all right? I'll take this little hint. I'll
Like,
take the hint.
yes, 100%. Obviously, I'm not top on your list. Oh my goodness. Well, that is a 100% valid complaint.
Yeah.
Any other complaints, Brittany?
I have no other complaints. Thank you. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, thank you to our listeners. We did get a complaint from one of our listeners. She messaged in and she said one of her biggest complaints is she hates when people say they're from, like, insert city name here. So when people say they're from Boston when they're actually from the suburbs, either outside of Boston or, like, say in the middle of Western Mass, for example. Just say you're from this town outside of this city. Why do people have to constantly say, oh, they're from the city when you're not really from the city?
Yeah, I thought about that one. It does and it doesn't make sense if like I'm in California and someone's like, "Where are you from?" And then I say like Massachusetts, like I feel like there's never a follow-up question to like, "Oh, where?" Like no one is like knows geographically where every town is if you're in California.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it too, and I was like, you wouldn't say if you're from Massachusetts and someone from Connecticut is like, "Hey, where are you from?" "Oh, Boston." Like, no, you're not. And like I feel like you could say a town there and you'd be like, "Oh, is that like Western or is that like where is that? Like Southern?" Like, yeah, I don't get that. I don't know why someone would say that.
I think I've been getting it a lot more here since I moved down here of just people asking where I'm from, and I usually will say, like Central Mass. And they'll be like, "Okay,
That's
well,
perfect.
yeah." And I'll be like, it's like 20, 30 minutes from Worcester. And then and most people will be like, oh, okay, I know Worcester because of the spelling. And everyone says Worcestershire, Worcestershire. And I'm always like, haha, yeah, very funny.
Worcester.
Yeah, but then I'll get, excuse me, then I'll get people who don't know. And then I'll be like, yeah, so I'm about like an hour and 15 minutes outside of Boston. And people will then go on a tangent. Oh, I love Boston. Boston's great. And then lately, people have been saying to me, like, oh, have you been here, here, and here? And I'm like, is it in Boston? Yeah, yeah. No. I just,
Right?
like, I grew up in Central Mass. Like, it baffles me how many people in the complete opposite of you telling people where you're from or whatever, saying that you're from the city, people just assume like if they know Boston, they assume you've been to all of these places that they've been to, and it's like no, like
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Sounds like a great place, but no, like I haven't been there.
Ma'am,
So
I took the duck tour on the third grade field trip. I hit that up. I hit that up. Thank you.
literally, so true. So keep the complaints coming, fans, because honestly, things like that, crazy situations, funny situations, how, people consistently ask random questions like that, or when you say, just stop doing it, folks. Just say, this is where I'm from. I'm outside of this city. Don't
Yeah.
say you're from the city when you're really not.
Right. Say the city, give a direction. Northeast, southwest of the main city. Okay?
Exactly.
Thanks for crying.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. We still Jenny from the block, okay?
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, goodness. All right. Well, thank you, listener, for writing that in for us.
Yes.
So, besties, get ready for a complete blast from the past in this special episode as we take a deep dive into the childhood favorites that shaped a generation. From Tamagotchis to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, we revisit the iconic TV shows, toys, music, and trends that made the 90s absolutely unforgettable.
But we're not just reminiscing. We're finding out where our favorite stars are now, our favorite shows, music, snacks, and toys. Let's dive into it.
Yeah, so grab your neon windbreaker, throw on your favorite boy band tee, and join us as we reconnect with the 90s and find out what happened to the things that defined our youth.
So before we really take a deep dive in and spill the tea on the 90s, we did get a listener send something in about what they missed about the 90s. So,
oh, perfect. Let's hear it.
Yes, I'm very excited about this. All right, so this was sent in from John. John is a frequent flyer here at Besties and Banter.
Thank you, John.
Yes, he wrote in the subject 90s baby in no particular order, but then he did number them. So that's a little bit contradicting, but thanks,
John. A little bit sus there, John. A little bit sus.
Yeah. Number 1, no bills. Same.
Same.
Number 2, I didn't have to make noises every time I got up out of a chair. Yes. Vibes.
Oh.
And number 3, I could sleep with any pillow I wanted, because don't you all have your own favorite pillow now that you can't sleep right if you don't have it?
That you now have to travel with your pillow in your 30s because you're like, no, I can't have any other pillow but this pillow. I spent $195 on this pillow that hugs me and, calls me, beeps me if it needs to reach me, honestly.
If you need to page me, that's okay.
Early. Oh my gosh. So true, John. We feel you. I feel like, everybody says once you hit those 30s,
it's downhill. It's down.
Stuff starts cracking, things start creaking. And it ain't just the floor that's creaking, folks, okay? It's right. My back. It's my neck. My back.
My crack.
It is everything, okay? And then not even mind you, if you got kids in the mix, then I feel even more bad for you because you're chasing those little crazies around and you probably, your sciatica's whatever.
Inflamed.
Yeah.
It's inflamed.
You got a crink in your neck because you slept on it wrong last night. Or God forbid you get any and you saw it from your husband. It's like, God, now you got to run around and chase these kids.
Let me be sore from my husband, folks.
Oh, goodness. Preach.
I also just want to know, I have this fabulous Trapper Keeper.
Oh, my
gosh. Ooh, my notes are falling out.
Aren't Trapper Keepers low-key, didn't that just turn into a padfolio? Like, that's really the new professional term for it. It's a padfolio is a Trapper Keeper. It's the same thing.
I know, but look at it. So, okay, for those of you, I'm going to just take you through a tour of this is actually my sister's Trapper Keeper. I don't have faith that she will even watch this, but if she does, she will call me the second. You have my Trapper Keeper with my Lion King cards in it? Sure do, bitch. You left that at home.
That's out of the bag, sis.
You left home when you ran off with your man, and guess who got all the goodies? This girl. Come at me.
The Scar card and the...
Oh, you have no idea. Yeah, do you see Scar? Yeah, there's Scar.
Yeah. You got Timon Pumbaa in there.
So this is a nice little pocket to slide papers in. We have all the Lion King cards, some Snow White. I don't know if this was I don't know where these trading cards came from. But then there's also
for all your
clipboard. So that's what we're working with. So let's dive into it. Do you want to start with your movies and we'll digress?
Yeah, let's dive in. I love that. All right, so first 90s movie that I truly, truly loved as a kid Probably came out like early or mid 90s. The Mighty Ducks.
Ah, classic.
Such a good movie.
That's a
Quack,
good one.
quack, quack, quack. And that's how they like motivate each other. It's the best. Like every time I still to this day will go to hockey games, and if they make any sort of formation or make any sort of call outs, I'll literally look at Kevin and say, quack, quack. And he'll look at me and be like, please stop. Like, do not do that. Please stop doing that. And I'm like, no, like, you have to. That was one of my ultimate favorites. And I loved that I think they did like 3 of them. And it was
Maybe 4.
so good. It honestly might have been 4, but they were so, so, so good.
No, they were. That was a good one.
What about you? A movie. Go.
Okay, so I have 4 listed, but this one takes the cake. I had it on VHS. Mercedes was over. We were probably in middle school. It was just like a feel-good movie for me. My VCR ate it, and then that Christmas she bought it for me on DVD, and honestly, it's the best gift I ever got. It Takes Two, Mary-Kate and Ashley. I can recite, it's that can't eat, can't sleep, reach for the stars, over the fence, World Series kind of thing, right? Yeah, bitch.
My gosh. That was such a good. Okay, shout out and throwback to Mary-Kate and Ashley. They had like 9 freaking movies come out in the night. Like they had It Takes Two, but then they also had their own like Mary-Kate and Ashley like series.
They had
right?
the Adventures
Yes.
of Mary-Kate and Ashley, but then they had their party series too, which was like pool party, sleepover party.
Yes.
Give me pizza, P-I-Z-Z-A. Yes.
Everybody wanted to be the. I had the only Mary-Kate and Ashley movie I had was the one of I forget what the heck it's called, but they go into this house that's haunted and they have to like I don't know, they have to like figure out or I don't know if they're like moving in there, if they live there, if they're just trying to like figure out I don't know, I'm gonna have to
Was it
Double
Double Toil and Trouble with the grandma in the attic in the mirror?
I think it was that, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, if you describe any Mary-Kate and Ashley movie, I can guarantee you I can name it. I guarantee it.
So good. So good.
I still watch To Grandmother's House We Go, the Christmas one. I love it. I'm obsessed.
Isn't it crazy too how the movies when we watch them like those graphics were so good and now you watch them and you're like, oh, this is like TV has gotten a lot better. Like film has gotten a lot better.
Not even that. Everything's square and now we have rectangle TVs, so they have to like either shrink it or stretch it.
Gosh, true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
They gotta widescreen that shit.
That's right.
Another really good one that I loved. I didn't get to watch it until I was a little older, but it came out in the 90s. Never Been Kissed.
Never seen it. I don't think.
You've never seen that?
Let me wait.
It's with Drew Barrymore. It's when she's super, super young. She has really, really high, like platinum blonde, curly hair.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Meets I think he's a teacher, like a baseball coach or something. But they like end up hitting it off. It's basically like a rom-com. It was one of my favorite movies to watch when I was like getting into my teenage years.
Okay, well it's on Hulu, so I'm gonna watch it.
Okay, good. Do it.
This next one was one of my sister's favorites. We have the VHS, so that means I probably have the VHS. The Little Giants.
Oh my gosh.
Icebox was a bad-ass bitch. I was a tomboy through and through. When she put that lipstick on and her dad came when she whipped off, she's like, it's a cherry Tootsie Pop. Like me.
I used to love the little tiny guy, and he just goes, so the guys at the morgue can identify the bodies.
Yeah, he's the one that needs to be wrapped up in bubble wrap, and he has the big booger come out when someone pops it.
So bad. That movie was so freaking good. Like, okay, sports movies back then, like little kids sports.
Chef's Kiss.
Good. Just anything little kids. Okay,
yeah.
It's so funny that you said Little Giants because I actually put on here Heavyweights.
Oh my god! Yes!
Also, such a good freaking movie, and Ben Stiller was like so young in that, but when they basically all go to freaking fat camp and he is just like the biggest dick to kids, but like it's so funny when you watch it back now. You cannot help but laugh at some of the crazy freaking shit that they say.
Yeah, no, I was like hoping I could go to fat camp at some point. Like I was in training during the school year to get there.
Well, I don't know why, Brittany. You just, previous episode, you said you're 130 pounds soaking wet.
Oh yeah, well, of course then I went to fat camp and lost all of that. Now, yeah, now Jeffrey's like, "Oh my God, are you okay? I can't even see your waist." I'm like, "Jeffrey, I know, I'm worried too." I just told somebody at the baby shower today, she's like eating a chocolate covered strawberry. She's like, "Now I'm gonna have to work out." I was like, "I physically don't bloat."
Physically, I don't bloat.
Yeah, I don't.
It's a gift.
It is a gift. So sorry to everyone that bloats. I don't bloat.
All right, what else? What else you got? This is good. I have one more.
Okay, I have blank check.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I forgot about
Macintosh. Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And I just saw a meme. I saw a meme and they were like, because the little boy kisses that girl. That's like, there was like the girl.
Yes, yes.
And they kiss at the pool and they're like, I can't believe we let this 23-year-old woman kiss this 11-year-old on the lips. And I was like, oh my God, you're right.
But like that's what happened in the 90s. Movies now are like they can't make them like they used to, honestly. They're way more cut and dry, way more PG. I think because they have to be like
for sure.
Day and age. But yeah, some of those movies is looking back on them, you're like, wow, this is a little borderline interesting here.
And I think that blank check he made out was only for like $1 million, wasn't it? Was it $1 million? I forget.
It might have been, but that was like a lot of money back then.
I know, which is crazy because
it's only been what, 20 years since 1990, 24 years since 1990. No, 34 years.
Okay, chill.
I know, sorry.
Moving on.
Anyway, all right, last one that I had, classic, again, came out at the end of the 90s, 1999, October. It's everyone's favorite, Halloween Town.
Oh my God, yes!
I love that movie. Kevin and I still watch that.
I just watched it.
Yeah. At least for me, I watch the Halloween Town 2, Calabar's Revenge. I do not watch
the high school or Halloween Town High School.
Well, I watched Halloween Town High. That one is technically the fourth one. There's a third one in the middle with this girl that I absolutely despised on Disney Channel, that she plays Marnie. It's not the same Marnie, and I refused to watch it because I was obsessed with Marnie.
Didn't she marry that boy?
Yeah, so fun fact, 90s folks, Marnie married Calabar's son.
Yes.
Whatever his name was. But yeah, they are married now. Follow them on TikTok. They actually post some pretty good content. But yeah, they're still together, which I think is absolutely crazy.
Halloween is cool.
Halloween is cool.
I love it.
Forgot about that. I love it too. That is one of my favorites.
Yeah, the internet went down at work, or the system, not the internet. And it was just before Halloween, and I like threw on Halloween Town. I don't know if I sent you that Snapchat, but I was like,
you did.
Watching it. Thank you.
It's a classic. Write this down. We should do a holiday classics like film show where we just talk about like all these feel good classic movies that you have to watch on holidays. Because I bet you there would be a bunch for that.
Sure. I wrote it down. I don't know if I'm going to find this piece of paper back, but it's on the back.
I'll remember. All right, toys, Britt. Get into it. Toys.
No, wait. I just have one last one.
Oh, okay. Yes, do it. Go.
Man of the House with Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All those Thomas brothers, honestly. Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Who was the other one? There was another one, I thought. No, I'm thinking of
the Lawrence brothers.
We have the Lawrence brothers, yes.
And they're on my heartthrob list.
Perfect. Love it. But yes, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Loved it. Loved that movie. That movie, wow, we had some good ones. I forgot about some of the ones that you just mentioned.
My God.
It was a good one.
I love Jonathan Taylor Thomas. He's my heartthrob. He's the one I actually did my little follow-up story with. But toys, I actually have them upstairs. I have my OG ones, but I also had bought some when I was working at a daycare, like preschool. We had an after-school program.
Okay.
I bought like a second batch because I didn't want to bring in my vintage Pogs with the Slamma.
That was literally my number one thing that I wrote.
It was mine too.
I literally, like, 150%, y'all, wrote Pogs, number one.
Mine too.
Oh my gosh. I freaking loved Pogs. And people
I'll
were.
bring them. I'll bring them in January. I'll bring them in January. I'm bringing them.
You need to.
I will.
Oh my gosh, okay, so they used to sell those little plastic cases that you could put all your pogs in and like stack them up and you could collect them, trade them with people. It honestly was like freaking cards, really.
Like Pokemon cards, yeah.
But it was just, I don't know, it was like the cooler thing to do. And I was looking it up. I was doing a little bit of research on Pogs. You can still buy them. They're like on Amazon.
Oh, I bought them, yeah, for the school kids.
Yeah, it's still a thing.
Yeah, I had for my original, I had like almost like a hockey puck blue plain slammer. We got them at Rieta Ranch is where I bought them. Maybe you did too.
Shout out to Rieta.
But I had a metal heavy, and when you hit it hard, you knew it. It was a Lion King slammer that was like heavy metal. Me and my sister both had them. I don't have that. I think I might still have the blue one. But yeah.
Gosh, Pogs. Oh,
I almost brought them down. I almost did.
I'm honestly just glad we like picked we both had that as our number one. That just goes to show, honestly.
Okay, what's your number two?
All right, so we're obviously Pogs was my number one. My number two was Moon Shoes. I freaking loved those. Do you remember those?
I do, but I didn't have them.
Oh my gosh. So I didn't have them either, okay? It was one of those things that I was like dying to have, but all of my friends had them. So anytime I went to their house, I would always just like put on these moon shoes. Y'all, it was, for those of you who don't know, it was literally like basically a box-like structure, like a metal structure that basically had elastic bands that you just stepped in and you basically like bounced. It just like made your walk a little bit more bouncy, which obviously I guess was like supposed to make it seem like you were walking on the moon. But I absolutely loved moon shoes. Those were so freaking cool.
Yes.
All right, what else do you have?
I did Tamagotchi or Gigapet.
Okay, I did have that as well.
Okay. Do you want to say another one?
So Skipball. Did you ever have that?
I have Skip It as my next one.
Okay, that I think it's the same thing. Skipball. It's like where you put one thing in the leg and then you like. Yeah. Okay, so it's called Skip It or Skipball. Yeah.
And it like counts how many times you do it. Yes. My sister has.
I was absolutely obsessed with that. My cousins had one. Shout out to Ashley and Amber. They always had the cool shit, and every time, once we got older, like it ended up in their garage. But every now and then, when we would be outside, someone would just take it and like we just skip it. We'd just sit there. We'd see how many we could get, and then it was like the old like dial kind of number.
Yes,
like it wasn't digital. It was literally just like when you count for people coming into like a venue or something.
Yeah,
and it would just count every time you skipped over it. Oh my gosh, I remember we used to get so mad at ourselves if we like effed up.
Messed up, yeah.
And like it's not even like you had to go that high, but like as a kid, you think it's like the biggest freaking thing ever.
Yes, I agree. No, that was a fan fave.
What about, all right, what's another one?
So we used to watch the Rosie O'Donnell show, but also it was just like a 90s thing. She would shoot these out into the audience. The Koosh Koosh ball. Do you remember the Koosh Koosh ball? They were like rubber.
Yes, I do remember that actually.
I loved them.
Okay. How did you get like a lot over whatever the period of time that like did you find that you had a lot, or was it kind of like you had this one or two favorite ones that you just kept throughout the whole entire thing? Because I feel like those could get lost pretty easily.
Koosh Koosh balls?
Yeah.
They're like,
Aren't those smaller?
I think they can come in any size, but I don't know if it was me or my sister or we just had one that we shared. It was like you could fit it in two palms of your hand, and it was just like long pieces of rubber, and like you could just like go like this with it.
Oh my gosh, yes. Or I used to do this and like punch it like a punching bag.
Yeah, and like it was like maybe like three different colors or maybe like half green, half purple or something. Like it
Okay.
was like and it smelled like rubbery. But yeah.
Maybe I think I'm thinking of the right thing. I don't know. I'll have to look after this.
You probably could have done that with the ones that Rosie O'Donnell used to shoot. She had like the slingshot thing that you could
Yes,
probably.
yes. It looked like a rubber band on the back or something.
So the one that I'm thinking of, we didn't have what it was like a bigger one, but it didn't have like the long
Okay,
slingshot thing.
okay,
It was
okay.
just like a ball. Yeah.
Gotcha. Another one that I had that I'm surprised you have not hit on yet. Hit clips.
Oh, well, remember I sent it to you and you're like, I'm doing that, so I didn't. But my cousin Cammy had it.
All right.
And I thought it was, oh my God, this just like, she had a Hoku. Remember Hoku?
Yes.
I didn't write that down, but now that I'm thinking of Cammy having it, she literally had Hoku.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, see, like these crazy things, even like, okay, so back up because, all right, so hit clips are, for those of you out there who may be listening who are younger than us, it was literally a little square cube. It almost looked like like an SD card. And you would slide it into the littlest version of a boombox, and it would play like a 30-second clip of a Britney Spears song, an NSYNC song. And you were so cool if you had the ring on your little boombox that had all the little hit clips attached to it. So it was almost like you would have to collect them. And then what we would do on the bus is we would trade them. So we would let someone have one for a night, and then they would let us have one of theirs that we didn't have, and then you trade it back the next day on the bus. It was the best. But I think you touched on Tamagotchis quickly, Brittany, but I think you need to explain what they are for people who don't know what they are.
Okay, true. And also, just side note on the hit clips, they also had like a Walkman version too.
Yes,
Okay.
they did. Oh my god. They had the cool stuff out there.
The one I did send you was a stereo, and I think Cammy had a silver stereo too, or maybe like a teal one or a purple one. I don't know. But yeah, so a Tamagotchi or a Gigapet. It was like, man, it was smaller than the palm of your hand, and it had maybe like 4 buttons on it, and it was this animal that you like. I think they were like in an egg, and you like incubated the egg, and then it cracked open, and then you had to feed it and keep it alive, and it was like your pet. Like you just had to like every so often.
Used to carry those around in the palm of their hand, like it was like
it was a keychain
or death. Yeah, it
was a keychain.
People would literally like have it and just be like, "Oh, I gotta feed my Tamagotchi," and I would be like, "What? Like what is this?"
Yes.
Yeah, those are absolutely crazy. All right, 2 more that I have. Magic Wigglers.
I don't know that one. I gotta Google it.
Okay, so I took a picture of it before here so I could show it to you.
Okay, good.
It was literally, it was one of these like things.
Oh my god, that's how everyone learned how to give a hand job.
I'm dead. And it had like literally the little hole in the middle. It was honestly like, it was basically a fucking pocket pussy for kids. It literally, you had the hole in the middle, there was like a bunch of little like swish stuff inside, and you could move it around, you could throw it, the thing would never shatter, it would never pop, but it always stayed like wiggly and jiggly.
That is so funny. Yeah, Cammy had one, I think, with like, it was like sea theme, and it had like dolphins in it and glitter.
Yes,
you could buy it at Claire's.
In it. Crazy. Yes. Oh my god, Brittany, that is hilarious. I did not even think about that. Like, that is how everyone learned how to give hand jobs.
I guess fingering too, right?
Oh,
cut that out. Cut that out.
I'm dead. All right, what do you have any other ones?
I just have one last one. The Doodle Bear. I got a purple Doodle Bear.
Where you used to like you could draw on the whole bear and then you put it in the wash, right?
Yeah.
Oh yep. My gosh. See, okay, this is why do we not have those things anymore where kids can just draw on the animal rather than our walls or our furniture or our floor? Like, that bear was so cool. Oh my god, I totally forgot about that. The Doodle Bear.
The Doodle Bear.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. The only other last one I had, it was more so like toward the end of the 90s, getting into the 2000s, but it was super popular at recess when I was in like 5th and 6th grade. And I personally like started getting kind of annoyed with them, but everybody was obsessed with Beyblades.
Oh, is that the one that you like pull and it like
And
spins
there
super
was like
fast?
a little plastic arena that you could buy, and they like you had to figure out who could fight who, and then whichever Beyblade.
Duel. They dueled. They
Yes,
dueled.
yes. And whatever one stopped spinning first was the loser. Like crazy, crazy stuff that used to satisfy people for hours. Like kids
Yeah,
could literally sit there for hours. I do that now, and I would be like, "What is this? Like, what are we doing?"
literally. That's
Oh
so
my gosh,
funny.
crazy. All right, those were good. Those were good. So, folks, if you have any other ones, we maybe we'll do like a quick little shout out in the beginning of next week's episode if anybody has any fan favorites that we forgot. But
Yeah.
that was a that was a pretty good list. Doodle Bear, man. I'm still that's so good.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna go into celebrities that we loved, hated, whatever it was. I have two really good ones that I was like really pretty obsessed with when I was a kid. I have a third one that I could use, but she's still kind of like pretty famous, so I won't bring her up until later. But who do you have, Bray? I'm curious who's on your list.
So he was on a calendar, like we had bunk beds and he was like right beside my bed, like Jonathan Taylor Thomas, like
Uh,
just
yeah.
hottie. Also, can I just say out of NSYNC, Lance Bass was my favorite, and then when I found out he was gay, I was like, well, that'll definitely never happen now.
So sad. You're like, but
Um,
hey, I have a gay best friend, so like it could work out.
I'd be too jealous. The frosted tips, no
Yeah,
thank
you could have
you.
gotten all the bennies if I ended up with Lance
I
Bass,
know, but then I just feel like the jealous friend that like tries to break you up even though I have no shot in hell.
right? Totally get it.
But like I do see him on like Instagram and I still love him. He's
Yeah,
the best.
he's funny too. Like even now as an adult, like not that he wasn't an adult before, but he is really really funny. He has some really funny stuff.
He just seems like a good human, but I digress.
I digress. Wait, so
Um,
do you know where Jonathan Taylor Thomas is now?
so he's kind of like under the radar. He obviously was on Home Improvement.
Yes.
He was Randy, I think, maybe.
Gosh, that's right. He was like one of the brothers on Home Improvement. I
He
forgot.
was.
Yeah.
He was also Simba from The Lion King. He was
Oh
the
my
voice.
gosh, true. Shout out.
Yeah, a lot of Lion King references today for me. Also, I'll Be Home for Christmas. I loved with Jessica Biel.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and then he went to Harvard University, University of Columbia, St. Andrews in Scotland.
Wow. So he went and got himself an education.
Yes, he did. I love an educated man,
For
and
real.
I could tell at just a young age he was the one for me.
He was so bright. I knew he was gonna go places. He was gonna
The,
search for the stars.
the second I hung that calendar, I knew.
Oh.
Um, and then like 2013 to 2015, he was actually on Last Man Standing, which was Tim Allen's other show, which
Yes.
was a sitcom kind of like Home Improvement, and he had like Al Borland from there
Yeah.
on there, and that's also a really good show.
Yeah, I think that was supposed to be like a spin-off of Home Improvement or something. Like
Uh,
or not
same,
a spin-off, but I think like the same premise because everybody loved Home Improvement so much that he ended up like coming out with something similar.
except in Home Improvement, I mean, Last Man Standing, he has 3 daughters. It's the opposite.
Yes, that's right. And he owns like a fishing and hunting store.
Like a Cabela's almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So now Jonathan Taylor Thomas just directs and writes and kind of has like a private life, like behind the scenes kind of
Okay,
deal.
Jonathan, we see you, we feel you, we still hear you. You're still out there. We love
Yeah,
it.
we love him for that.
We love it. Love it. Love it.
So who is your little
Okay, so I have one is Christy Carlson Romano. which for those of you who don't know, she was Ren on Even Stevens. She also was the voice of Kim Possible, which was like a hot show growing up. That was not technically a 90s show. That went into the 2000s, but technically Christy Carlson Romano was an actress in the 90s before Kim Possible and Even Stevens got super big. So I love her, love her, love her. I actually still listen to, so fun facts about her, she pretty much after Disney stopped acting, and she's actually pretty open about how a lot of Disney, a lot of things that Disney did actually were very bad for her. So she moved to Texas, so now she lives in Texas, and she hosts a podcast. So she has her own podcast where she brings on previous stars from Disney Channel shows, interviews them, talks to them about their time during Disney, crazy stories that happened, and then also talks about where they are now. So she's kind of, still doing her own thing, but in a different way. And
What's it called?
I knew you were gonna ask me this.
I want to tune in.
Let me look it up. But it is so good. I am definitely a frequent flyer of it because I love just hearing, and especially you can see on the show, like, oh, this star is here. I would love to, like, she interviewed Eric Matthews from Boy
yeah.
I forget his name in real life. Her podcast is called Vulnerable by Christy Carlson Romano.
Okay, I'm going to follow it now.
Shout out, shameless plug to Christy Carlson Romano. Love your podcast. So yeah, she interviews so many people. So that's one that I still follow and really like. Another 90s actress that I loved was Kirsten Storms, who was Xenon, girl of the 21st century.
Love.
My
Zetus Lapidus.
Oh my god, my little gay self. I was so obsessed with Xenon. I used to say Cetus Lapidus in school because I thought I was cool by saying that. I also may or may not have had a photo of Protozoa because I thought that was like a hunk. I may or may not have tried to at one point get my hair to look like Protozoa.
The frosted tips.
My love was automatic. I couldn't freaking bear it. Zoom, zoom,
zoom, zoom, zoom. You make my heart go boom, boom. My supernova girl.
Exactly. So I actually was doing some follow up on her because I did realize that after she left Disney, she left acting for a while. She came back. I know I don't know if she is anymore, but I know she was a frequent flyer on General Hospital, which is literally the soap opera that has been running. I think since like the day I was born, that show is still or whatever. So whatever it is.
Soap opera, yeah. Or is it a soap opera?
No, maybe.
What is it called?
That's right, a soap opera.
Okay.
I think.
It doesn't sound right, but
anyway, so yeah, I know she was on General Hospital for a while. I did hear in 2015 she was arrested and got a DUI.
That girl.
I know, but I heard that, she, was on the up and up and got better, and I think she's still maybe on the show, or she just recently left the show, but she was still, like, number one for me for a long time. Her and Raven, of course. Raven is great. I didn't want to bring up Raven because we still see her a lot. She's still got a lot going on, that girl.
True.
Who else you got, Britt? Is that it? Just those two?
That was all I had. My JTC.
Drops.
I mean, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, the Lawrence brothers as an entirety whole, and then Leonardo DiCaprio was my heartthrob of the 90s.
Of course.
Because Titanic, come on.
Who doesn't want a slice of Jack, okay? I'd go to America on a ship with him, too. Give me a break. Can I be Fabrizio?
Paint me like one of your French women.
Literally. Which, for me, I'd be like, paint me like one of your gay men.
It was the only VHS that had 2 tapes.
I know. And it was the best because as soon as they like hit the iceberg, when it got to the good part, you had to like the tape would stop and you'd have to switch over to tape 2. And then the worst was when you would try to watch it and it wasn't rewound. So you'd be like, I have to wait 3 extra minutes for the VHS to rewind. Oh my gosh, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, good ones, Britt. Good ones.
No, yours were solid too.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Okay, let me just go through my games. So computer games, we have Solitaire, Minesweeper, Pinball, Math Blaster, and the Oregon Trail. Solid.
The Oregon Trail?
Yeah.
What is that one?
You didn't do that where you die off because you get the measles or something?
No. Wait, is that the one where you had to like it was like a colony and you had different people and you had to like I thought that was called like life something. I don't know. No, I don't think I've done the Oregon Trail, but shout out to the Mind game and the Pinball game.
Oh, that's from the 1970s anyways. Skip over that.
Woof. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I played it in the 90s because schools were poor.
Yeah, true. True. Has anything changed much? I'm not really sure. But yeah, I remember like when you would wait, I used to wait for dial-up. For those of you listening, younger generations who don't know what that is, it used to be a nice little person and you'd have to go and you'd have to wait for the internet connection. I would always play that pinball game while I was waiting for dial-up.
Yep.
That pinball game was classic. All right, I love this. What else you got, Britt? What else?
Okay, so music, quickly, I'll just read through and then you can pick.
Yes.
We have NSYNC, Britney Spears, Backstreet, Mandy Moore, Spice Girls. That movie also was Chef's Kiss.
Spice World, love it.
Yep. Christina Aguilera, TLC, Aqua, Barbie Girl, Hanson, Brandy, Shania Twain. That's when I fell in love with Shania Twain. Her Come On Over album.
Can we just talk about like 90s was the time for boy and girl bands, like girl groups.
3LW.
I was just gonna say that, or Play. Like, I used to listen to Play all the time with their light blue turquoise CD cover. Like, oh my god.
S Club 7.
Yes, S Club 7. There were so many.
Also a TV show.
Boy bands, like crazy, crazy, crazy. Also, off topic of music for a second, but another game that I was thinking of that I used to play all the time. Not a computer game, but it was a board game. That game, Pop, or Perfection.
Pop Goes Perfection. Yeah. I have it.
It would always be, the commercial would come on. It would be like, Pop Goes Perfection. And it would be like kids trying to figure it out before all the crap popped out. It was crazy. Absolutely.
Remember? Now that you say commercial, Don't Wake Daddy.
Oh my gosh. Yes. And it was like this little dad that laid in bed and it was... Oh my gosh. That is insane. I totally forgot about that. Don't Wake Daddy. Yes.
My sister had that one. But I love Sorry. I love Sorry. Sorry is my game through and through. The OG one, not this like Sorry slide nonsense with 3 pawns.
I cannot with Sorry. I am so sorry. I can't. I just never got into that. I never had a huge...
So just say it. You could never win. Just say it. You could never win.
I don't even know if, honestly, I think it was because I never really tried.
You had to count.
I never tried. Yeah, basically. I never tried to understand the game, and it's not even that hard of a game. Like, I played it now as an adult, and I'm like, okay, like, it's not that bad. But as a kid, I think I was just so, like, maybe because it was the cool thing that everyone was doing, and I was just like, I'm so over Sorry. Like, I don't want to do it.
Well, you do have to pay attention because, like, if you get an 11, you can switch with another player, like, your pawns. And number 7, you can, like, split it between 2 pawns. And, like, number 2, you can draw again. Like, there's so many cards. And, like, if you get a 10, you can either go forward 10 or backward 1. Like, it is, like, if you have to, like, play it to the fullest.
Yeah, and I think my family wasn't a big, like, board game or family game night kind of family, so we didn't really have a lot of those kinds of games. So I always only ever played them when I went to, like, my cousin's house or my friends' houses who had games like that.
Definitely.
All right, another song or music one. I loved Mandy Moore's album,
Candy.
Candy.
Yes.
Uh,
I'm missing you. Yep.
Honestly, some days I just think about how people knew I was gay from God knows how long because I always laugh when I tell stories like this because I always say the same thing. I'm like, oh my God, like S Club 7, 3LW, like all these things that I used to just sing as a kid, or, you know, Christina Aguilera. I used to jam out to her, and Britney Spears. All I can think about when I hear those artists is I used to like lay out by the pool with my sister, and my sister is older than me, so she always kind of had like she was into the NSYNC, the Backstreet Boys, the Britney, the Christina Aguilera, like all of that, and I obviously thought it was so cool because you know she was my older sister and like that was what the cool kids listened to. So I just knew all of that stuff, but I look back sometimes and I'm like, man, like, and I say this all the time to people like, how did you not know I was gay? And most people are like, we did. Like, we just had to act surprised. Like, you were hidden in the closet for 17 years. We had to hide our truth or whatever. We had to hide our knowing for 17 years.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. But yes, I loved that song and that album. Shout out
Yeah.
to Mandy Moore. Absolutely freaking love her.
I think Cammy had her CD because I think she's the only reason why I knew of Mandy Moore anything.
Yeah,
But
she's so good.
okay, and then I have a list of shows that I'll just run through.
Yes.
Did you have shows or no?
Yeah, I have a couple. Yes, for sure.
Okay, then you go first.
All right, so one show that I loved all the time. I used to, way back when, folks, when if your parents were working and you had older siblings, you could all just get off the bus and go home. You didn't have to have a parent there on the bus. But every day when me and my brother that's a year older than me, we would get off the bus. We would go into the house, and my sister and oldest brother, who were already in middle school and high school at the time, we would sit down every day for an hour right after school until my parents got home, and we would watch Boy Meets World.
Yes.
It was like a daily ritual, especially when they started having repeats, and it was on almost every single day. Like, we would see an episode every single day. So all of us, like, we used to love Mr. Feeney. We
Yeah.
love like Sean Hunter,
Hunter. Yeah.
like with his hair and his, oh my gosh, it was like he was so good.
Topanga.
I loved Boy Meets World. Loved Topanga. She was my fave. I think just because I loved, she was a bad bitch and
She
she had a
was.
lot of confidence, and I was like, damn, I want to have that amount of confidence when I'm older. Loved
I
her.
know. I like low key want to get some lipstick right now and just draw it on my face.
I still feel like some days when I like think I'm like having a bad reaction to something, or I'm like freaking out about something that isn't that big of a deal, I always think of that episode of Boy Meets World when Corey and Topanga are living in their first apartment together, and Corey gets diagnosed with it's some disorder where it's like you basically think you have something when you don't. You're like I forget what the name of it is. Um, but he was like put on medication, and Topanga read it and she was like, this isn't even medication, Corey. Like, it's like
Smarties.
like
Yeah.
pill. Like, they're just taking this because you were diagnosed with this specific thing, which I am blanking on right now.
Hypochondriac?
Yes. So she was like, you're a hypochondriac. And he's like, I know, it's the worst ever. And she was like, no, Corey, that means that, like, you think everything is bad for you, or you, like, think you're allergic to everything or whatever. Like, you're a hypochondriac. But, oh my gosh, I still think about that sometimes when I, like, freak out or I think something bad is happening. I'm like, okay, don't be a Corey Matthews.
Me every day of my life.
Dead. What other shows do you have?
You want me to run through them?
Yeah, run through a few.
Okay. Arthur on PBS.
So good.
Wishbone. Also PBS. The dog, the detective dog.
What was even crazier was that we watched that like in our free time, but then they started having us watch that in school because it was like educational.
Yeah. Zoom on PBS.
Ugh.
Zoom. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved Zoom.
Gullah Gullah Island.
Wow. Wow. Okay, you're pulling out. All right, I got a few I could pull out. You're
Okay, pull out.
really pulling from the vault, man.
Oh, I am pulling from the vault. What?
I freaking love it. Rocket Power.
Yes, I used to watch that before school.
Yeah, Real Monsters.
Yep.
DuckTales.
Okay.
Tailspin. Those were
Okay.
like Nickelodeon, I think. But Out of the Box, that used to be one of my favorites.
Out of the box.
Yes.
PB&J Otter. That was on like right after.
Oh my gosh, PB&J Otter. Wow.
Madeline. I didn't write these ones down.
Yeah, Madeline was good. Or Angry Beavers, which is like very inappropriate now, but like Angry Beavers was good. Cat Dog.
Yeah. Ren and Stimpy. Yep. Yeah, Cat Dog. That was a good one. I did like that one. I also
It was good.
I also dabbled in SpongeBob, but
Yeah, was SpongeBob in the 90s or was that more
maybe
like
not.
2000s?
Maybe not. Maybe not 2000s probably.
I always loved the SpongeBob episode of them at like the Super Bowl when he sings and it's like they have this huge like rock song in like a bubble and they go up to the Super Bowl. It's so freaking funny.
I don't remember that one.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
The Secret World of Alex Mack. Did you watch that?
I don't know if I remember that.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? I was afraid of, but they came back out with that.
Oh my gosh, I know, but still, like low key, my sister used to watch that, and obviously would be like, I'm not scared because she was older. I would straight up like shit my pants. That was so scary to me. And some of the stories now, like I've watched episodes as an adult, just like on YouTube, and you're like, seriously? But as a kid, it's so freaking terrifying.
It's like the Goosebumps books.
Yes.
Seventh Heaven.
Oh my gosh. Seventh Heaven. What about Growing Pains?
Oh, I loved Growing Pains.
That was like that. I feel like that was like Seventh Heaven's biggest competitor at the time.
No, they were different times. Like maybe same time slots, but yeah, Growing Pains was like maybe like early 90s. Like, isn't that the Seavers?
Yes, because it was Alan Thicke.
Yeah.
Well, it was Alan Sieber in the show, but that was Robin Thicke's dad. Was the dad in that show?
Wait, I gotta look this up because I think that was like late 80s, early 90s.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. But it might have been like the same time slot during the 90s.
Yeah, true. Because Seventh Heaven, I think, was like later 90s into the 2000s, and then even into the 2000 teens, I think. Seventh Heaven lasted a long time.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, see? The first one, 1985 to 92.
Was Growing Pains?
Yeah, so you were watching reruns, which I watched it in the 90s too.
Wow,
It was 90s technically, too.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, no, I love the Seavers. Mike Seaver, was it? Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Do you remember Kablam? It was like those action figures. It was so freaking weird. You'd be like
claymation. It was so weird.
Yeah, you would like wake up and it'd be on Kablam. You'd be like watching it and be like, all right, I'm gonna fall back asleep now.
It would literally be like this big hunky like boy. It looked like a wrestler doll, and then it would be like a Barbie doll would be one segment, and then it would go to like the claymation. It was like a boy and a girl who narrated. And it was like inside of a comic book. It was so weird.
Yes, exactly.
So wow.
It was so weird.
Oh my gosh.
The Fresh Prince, naturally. That might have been early 80s too.
Yeah. But still, that was like
late 80s.
90s.
Yeah, late 80s, early 90s. Yeah.
Hair, like that was totally a statement.
Yeah. Hey Arnold.
Yes.
Move it, football head. Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah, loved
Big
it.
fan. My nieces love it.
Who is that?
Melissa Joan Hart.
Joan Hart.
She's like in all the Hallmark movies now.
Yes, I know.
Rugrats, naturally.
Yeah, Rugrats is so good. So
good. I put Home Improvement.
Okay.
All That, which I'm wearing the shirt, and I also got to meet Kel at the 90s bar crawl in Boston. I'm gonna show a pic.
Yeah. That must have been cool. I have also met Keenan Thompson, which was pretty cool.
Where?
He went to Keene State and did for our spring weekend.
Can you see it?
Yes, I do see it. Wow. Oh, I forgot about that.
He took my phone and we did a selfie.
That's perfect. You and Carly, love it.
Yes, I texted her before. I'm like, can I show these? She's like, sure.
Yeah, he came for a spring weekend. He like headlined he was like the headlining comedian. So I got to work with him, which was cool. Not like work with him, but like prep his green room and his space and like talk to him for a little bit or whatever. It was cool.
That is so cool. I love that. And then they had their own spinoff, Keenan and Kel. Who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda.
And what about Good Burger too? Good Burger.
My God, classic.
And then do you remember Disney would have, I think it was Disney, or maybe it was Nickelodeon, but they started doing all these like kid competition shows and like game shows. So they would do,
Double Dare.
yeah, and figure
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Legends of the Hidden Temple, and that little guy, the temple, whatever, the freaking would start talking. It was so freaking crazy. And then it was I think it was Slime was another one. Because I know it was Figure It Out, or no, I'm thinking of Figure It Out because they would dump slime on people if they got it wrong.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I was obsessed with those shows. I used to watch Legends of the Hidden Temple with my brother all the time.
Yes. Oh.
Figure It Out because it would just like it was literally like a game show for kids. It was
and they would have those cheesy commercials. Show us what they could win. You could win a Burton snowboard. Blah blah blah.
Yes, and they would come out and it would like whatever intro it. The curtain would pull back and they'd have all these like I think one of them was like a go-kart or something. And me and my brother would always be like, "Oh my god, we want to win this so bad." Oh my gosh, the little things.
Yes. Roseanne. I love Roseanne.
I didn't get into that.
Oh my god, I love her. The nanny named Fran.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I could not stand her voice.
Oh my god, I loved her.
I liked the show. Her voice just bothered me.
I had Boy Meets World, and then this last one. No, see, I was gonna do Saved by the Bell, but that's 80s, I think.
Yeah, I think it came out in like 86 or something.
But I watched it, and I even watched the college years, but I watched Saved by the Bell every morning before school. Yeah. Like, I would watch Saved by the Bell at home, and then I went to my neighbor's house to catch the bus, and we would watch Rocket Power. Woogly, woogly, woogly.
Perfect. Shoobies!
Yeah.
I still say that every time I wear socks with my Birkenstocks. Shoobies!
Dead. This last one. The Magic School Bus.
Oh my gosh. Yo, Miss Frizzle for the win, okay? She was such a big part of our childhood, honestly. Again, that was another one like Wishbone. They just would show us that stuff in school because it ended up being so good, and I always watched it.
That and Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill.
Oh, and Blue's Clues. That was a huge one in the 90s.
That was more of my brother's, but yeah, and then like Face, the commercial.
I just
The Busy World of Richard Scarry.
Steve, huh?
The Busy World of Richard Scarry.
Wow.
Little Bear.
Yeah, Little Bear. I love. Oh, Franklin.
My brother was a Franklin.
Yes, Franklin. And I just had it in my head too. There was another one. Little Bear. Bear in the Big Blue House.
That was more my brother too, but yeah.
God, I loved it.
Classic.
Good list, Britt. Oh my gosh, I love it. I had some, but I didn't think we were gonna go that deep. That was core childhood. I love that.
Yeah, I just really love the 90s. And then all I have left is snacks and drinks.
Yeah, snacks. Okay, one snack I had, or I should say like a snack/drink combo, because I think was Dunkaroos. Did that come out in the 90s?
It did, and I have it right here.
Love it. Okay, so Dunkaroos with Tang. I used to drink Tang. I know, which now you look at it and you're like, God, the amount of freaking acid that was probably in that was probably why half my teeth were deteriorating when I was younger. But yeah, Tang and Dunkaroos. And my mom never bought Dunkaroos, but my cousins Amber and Ashley, again, shout out to them, always had Dunkaroos. So I would always take advantage every time we were there and eat Dunkaroos.
Cammy always had good snacks too, so that's really funny. A drink. So this one is like a series of juices. So there's the Squeeze It. That's the one where you like twist the top, but
Oh, yes, yes.
then Kool-Aid had their own brand, which was Burst. But then there was also like a Mondo that also was a twist top of the bottle. But
Yeah.
then, do you remember the juice barrels that you would have at like a birthday party?
Mugs.
You'd like rip the corner of your mouth open on the tinfoil because you peeled it back.
Yeah, I think it was literally called Mugs.
Hugs.
Oh, Hugs. That's what it was. Hugs.
Hugs.
Yeah, it was Hugs. Yes.
But it was a barrel.
Yeah, it was literally so random. But yes, I do remember that. I freaking loved those. Absolutely loved those.
The blue one on me.
Yes. Or Go-Gurt. That came out in the 90s. That was
True.
huge.
That's very true. That was a good one. The cotton candy flavor, I could still mess those up.
Yes.
I should get those. And then my last thing, they have made a comeback. 3D Doritos.
That was out in the 90s?
Yes.
I don't know if I remember that.
What?
I know.
Are you okay?
No, I thought that was like a new thing.
No.
That just came out. I didn't know that those
Sure.
were 90s, and then they went away, and then they came back.
See yourself out.
Were they like little pyramids?
That's a bugle. That's a bugle.
No, I knew bugles. I thought there was one that was like, maybe I'm thinking of like a type of cheese puff or something. Let me look.
1998 they came out.
3D Doritos.
They look like this. I mean, I guess it's kind of like a pyramid, but they're hollow.
Okay, yeah, no, it looked like a little pyramid.
I guess you're right. You're right. I'll give it to you.
I do remember those briefly.
Okay, so that's all I had for my 90s. Oh, but wait.
Go.
For those of you who can't see, I apologize. I just have some 90s things. Clueless, but also it's a puzzle. It's Clueless, but look it's Blockbuster.
Love Clueless. Loved Blockbuster.
That was a little decoration in my lady lair. But also,
when you used to go to Blockbuster with your parents and like pick out a movie for the weekend or a couple video games when those started getting popular, and then you'd have to you'd only have the weekend to play it, and then you'd have to return it. TBT.
I miss it. Also in that plaza that we referenced with Stop and Shop in the movies.
Yes, it was.
We have this Britney Spears book.
I'm dead.
We have this Britney Spears book.
So she wrote multiple books, folks, not just her new memoir that just came out.
No, this one's called True Brit, and this one's called Pop People Britney. From the bottom of her broken heart to the top of the pop charts, this is her story.
Wow, that's I bet you she was part of that. Whatever at that point. What was she part of? It was like where she was, all of her finances were controlled by her dad.
Oh, this.
Shit.
Yeah.
She was already into that.
I have this fluffy pink pen.
Ooh, love.
I made that. I just put ribbon around it and then use the other scrunchie. But I did have a purple one like that.
Shout out to scrunchies too, because those were popular in the 90s and now they're making a comeback. People are wearing those again. NSYNC
backstage pass.
Look at Justin looking fine on there.
Obviously. And then, but did you check out my boy Lance with the frosted tips?
Yep, always. He knew what was up.
And then Britney Spears backstage pass.
Yes, I love it. Love it.
And then I also, a toy that we didn't dive into was the recorder. And this, I had a Pocahontas one, and this is my Pocahontas songbook. It comes with Colors of the Wind, Just Around the River Bend, Listen with Your Heart, Mine, 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 Savages, just part 1, not part 2. Steady as the Beating Drum, and then the Virginia Company. I am now going to do my own rendition on my record. I'm just kidding. Of Just Around the River Bend.
Yeah, so for those of you who think like the singing cards was like a new thing, nope, they had the books first.
Yeah, honestly.
Wow, I forgot about those songbooks. That's crazy.
Okay, so now I know that you are going to do the TV shows, but we'll probably get in trouble. I do have 90 sounds that I do want to play for you and have you try and decode what they are.
Okay.
if you're up for it.
Yeah, so for those of you who are unaware, Brittany was tasking like 90s sounds that I could hopefully guess and identify with. I was doing intros to shows, but we can't do that because of copyright things. So we will just have Brittany do the
And that's on me.
sounds. Oh,
And that's
that we literally just realized it like a half hour before the show, so no worries.
so maybe we'll do, instead of you guessing a word this week, we'll have you guess the sounds and I'll save this word for next time. Does that sound?
Let's do that.
Okay, but it's a handful of sounds. So, ready?
Ready.
Let me make sure my volume's up because that'll be an epic fail. All right, here we go.
That's AOL.
It's dial-up, yeah.
Yeah, that's AOL dial-up for sure.
Yep, I love it. I don't think I can do that one because
I think I just got PTSD from hearing that.
I know, it's like, God, now I have to wait 10 minutes.
For real. Oh my gosh, that was that was that pinball game, the space pinball game. Wow.
Yep. That's correct.
My gosh, crazy what your brain remembers.
Blues. We are looking for blues clues. Oh, hi, it's me. Get ready to look for some clues.
Is it
No.
Is it Blues Clues?
No, hold on.
Because Blues Clues is coming up next on Nick Jr.
It's not Pee-wee?
No, do you remember Face? Like the commercial? It'd be like his face.
Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, geez. Wow. I forgot about that.
Okay, here we go.
That's a feature presentation, baby. That's a feature presentation.
That's all I had.
Honestly, that was perfect. The feature presentation was great. Oh my gosh, I love that. All right, well, hey, that was a really, really, really good show. Hopefully we helped people, climb back into the nostalgia of the 90s and all the things that, went on during the 90s. Next week's episode, we're going to do a special Thanksgiving themed episode. We're reflecting on things we're grateful for, but with more of a fun, unexpected twist. Join us as we share the usual suspects like family, friends, and good health, but we also dig a little deeper and explore some unconventional things we're thankful for. I know I sure got a few in my repertoire. Things surprising, silver linings, awkward moments that turned into life lessons, and quirky experiences that shaped us in ways we never expected.
It's a celebration of gratitude with a dose of humor and heart. Tune in for a refreshing take on the holiday and a few laughs along the way. Grab your pumpkin pie and join us for this gratitude-filled journey. But be warned, not everything is as it seems. Subscribe, listen, and let us know what you're thankful for this year. Twists included.
So thank you again, everybody, for listening to this episode. Like I said in the beginning, I think maybe Brittany and I next episode will do like a little recap if anyone sends in some of their 90s things that they thought of that maybe we forgot about. So if you remember after listening to the pod, you want to add some stuff, send them in because we want to hear them, and we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the Thanksgiving episode next week.
For sure. And that's a wrap, besties. Thanks for hanging with us today. Don't forget to follow and share the pod with your besties. Stay fab, stay fierce, and keep spilling the tea with us. We'll catch you next time. As always, in Besties We Trust.
Bye!
Bye!